If you're confident, you know that you are capable of doing what other people do not think is possible.
You're listening to Living Beyond with Hope. Hey, that's me.
Welcome to the podcast. This podcast is meant to help you realize you're more than a label, and you too can create a life you love despite it. Each week, we bring you tips and inspiring messages to help you take the positive steps in your health that will allow you to live beyond. Now sit back, relax, meal prep, or take a walk as you dig into today's topic with your host, a gal living her life to the fullest with type 1 diabetes, Hope Mangiafico.
So, what we're talking about today is the 5 characteristics of a confident person living with diabetes. What's cool about this, and I say this about all the things that I talk about, but what's really cool is all of these characteristics can apply to anyone, and they're so incredibly important. But before we hop in, I'll do a quick intro. My name is Hope. I have type 1 diabetes, and my whole purpose is to empower other people, specifically people living with diabetes, to overcome the disease, to feel empowered, to feel like they can conquer it. That's what I do. And for me, I've done that by taking control of my health via exercise and nutrition. And I take minimal insulin. Sometimes I don't even need rapid acting insulin. And I have what would be considered a normal person hemoglobin A1C. If you don't know what that is, no worries. Just know that if you have diabetes, you can do it too. Okay, so let's get in. The 5 characteristics of a confident person, specifically living with diabetes. Number 1 is that they accept that they have the diagnosis. And that seems pretty simple, but as I have been kind of paying a little bit more attention to Facebook groups, Facebook pages, just people that talk to me on a day-to-day basis, it is so common for people to not accept what's in front of them. And the moment you don't accept it, you feel negative, you feel down on yourself, you don't feel confident at all, and you basically feel like a failure and you feel like you're not in control of your life. And we don't want that. We want to feel like we're in control, and when you feel like you're in control, you're confident that you know what you're doing. And that is so incredibly valuable. So number 1 is accepting the diagnosis and just realizing there's going to be a change or two you're going to have to make, but that's okay. It's for the better of your health and for your overall well-being. I promise you that you have a great life ahead of you if you accept this. All right. Number 2, this is a big one. You have to realize that nothing is permanent. So a lot of people living with diabetes have high blood sugars. And when they have high blood sugars, they don't feel well. And they get frustrated. I mean, I shouldn't even say they. I'm in that group too. I was frustrated like 2 days ago. And you get to this point where you're like, oh my God, will this ever end? And sometimes it feels like it doesn't. But you have to remind yourself that it is not permanent. Sometimes you might be really insulin resistant for whatever reason, or you might be low, and no matter what you eat or what you do, you can't get your blood sugar up. Like, I get that, and it's frustrating and it's annoying, but it's not permanent. This small window of time where you're having hardships and you're struggling, it'll pass. And sometimes you can't get your sugar to drop. You're like insulin resistant for whatever reason. Other times, no matter what you do, you can't get your blood sugar up and it feels like it's never going to end. But you have to remember these short periods of time, they do not define you. And this is just a tiny segment into the great many multiple years of life that you have ahead of you. And you are greater than your diabetes. You're confident because you know that this is just a small window of time. All right, let's see. Okay, number 3, a confident person has a clear vision of what their future looks like. And I'm not saying you need to have a 10-year plan, but you have to have one thing at least that can motivate you to make wise decisions. Are all your decisions going to be wise? No, you get to live a little. That's perfectly fine. Sometimes you might be going out of town. And like for me, for example, I'll be going to San Francisco soon. I've heard their food is amazing. And while I will definitely try and eat low carb, high fat as much as possible, I'm going to enjoy some food. And it's okay because I deserve to live. However, I will not overdo it because I know that my calling in life is to empower and help other people to control their diabetes, and I want to be around and live a long time to serve my purpose. So if you have one clear goal and vision of why you should take care of yourself and why you should be confident with your diabetes, it'll make making decisions a lot easier and saying no easier. So that's number 3. Number 4. You need at least one person in your life that can provide you with positive affirmation. So if you are a person with confidence, you always have one person by your side that can kind of give you a little nudge when you need it, or when you're down for a hot second, just a hot second, it's not permanent, then they can provide some positive affirmation in your life that you are a confident person. You have the ability to be in control. And that is all that matters. That one person, honestly, could lift you up so incredibly much. And side note, if you have the wrong person, it's risky business because you are a reflection of the people you surround yourself with. So if you don't pick the right person that will not fuel positive words into your life, you're not going to be confident and you're not going to be the person that you want to be with your diabetes. All right, one more. Number 5. This is the most simple one. And perhaps you think it's kind of silly and it's not that powerful, but I'm here to tell you it is so powerful. And this is literally what has transformed my life. I mean, it's become my motto with Hopeful Health, is that you have to repeat this one truth every single day to yourself. And it's super simple. All you have to say is, I am greater than my diabetes. That's it. I'm greater. I am greater. I am living without limits. I am the impossible. So that's my new thing. Actually, it's like my really new thing is saying like, be the impossible. If you're confident, you know that you are capable of doing what other people do not think is possible. A lot of people think that the way I take care of myself and my knowledge and everything that I know, it's not possible. But it is. But you will not be able to reach these things and realize it if you don't tell yourself on a daily basis. And that kind of goes back to point number 4. When you repeat these truths and on days when you don't want to, your little positive affirmation person will help make number 5 possible. That's it. Short and sweet. That is the 5 characteristics of a person that is confident with their diabetes. Super, super easy. By the way, if you liked what you heard, or maybe you're like, oh, I kind of like what this girl is sharing, what she's doing, you can learn more at myhopefulhealth, HEALTH.com. You can read blogs, or you can join my blood sugar challenge. Lots of resources there that can help you thrive. So, bam! End topic.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It means the world to me to be able to serve you and help you live beyond. If you found today's episode helpful or beneficial or share-worthy, I would love a review in iTunes. A review in iTunes allows me to know what was helpful and allows us together to continue to change lives and help other people live beyond their diagnosis or label. And if you did find this share worthy or helpful, be sure to subscribe to this podcast. If you're on an Apple device, you can go to the podcast app or the iTunes store and type in Living Beyond with Hope, and there you can subscribe or listen to other episodes. When you subscribe, this allows you to know when there's a new podcast release. If you're on an Android device, no worries, I got you. All you have to do is download the Stitcher app and search for Living Beyond with Hope there and subscribe there. You can also go to www.livingbeyondwithhope.com if you would like to listen to the episode again, if you would like to see the show notes and any links that were mentioned in this episode. Today's episode was brought to you by Living Beyond Diabetes. This is an online membership community that I created to provide you, if you're living with diabetes like myself, with all the resources that you need to live beyond your label. No matter if you need some motivation, inspiration, recipes, nutrition advice, exercises, workouts, worksheets, quotes, a community, questions answered, everything is in this membership site. If you want to learn more, you can go to lifebeyonddiabetes.com and you can learn more about it, and I would love to see you inside. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will catch you on the next episode.